People, people, they always ask me, why do you shoot analog? Why don't you just stick to this, all these new cameras? I gotta say, it's the whole experience. It's the satisfaction, actually. Usually I'm the one behind the lens, but now with everyone shooting me here, it feels quite overwhelming to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hussein Nabhan bin Badron. I'm currently practicing architecture at AJ Architects, and I love to shoot film. Film photography to me is a way of capturing wonderful memories. I was born and raised here in Kuching. There was a moment in my life where my father had to continue his masters in the UK. So our whole family went there with him, and I realized that I've learned a lot of things there, especially in terms of relation with other people, relation with people of different culture. My younger brother, Naseh, he's really in depth with photography. To me, he's one of my favorite photographers, especially in terms of his shots. They're just very nice. He's more focused on travel, but in the current situation, we can't do that much anymore. Photography to me has always been a serious hobby. I'm not doing it full time. I only do it certain times when there's a need to, like some fashion jobs, or some of my friends, they need some pre-wedding photography, things like that. To me, the art of photography itself is capturing wonderful moments. The first time that I realized when I love taking photos was taking photos of my family. Basically, I just want to capture moments and treasure it, keep it in albums to see when we grow up later, just to have that nostalgic feel. To me, the love to take photos started out from my dad. He's the one who gave me a camera, so it sparked my interest from there. Then it further developed when I started watching my favorite movies, especially from Quentin Tarantino and Wes Anderson. In improving myself to take better photos, I always have certain references. Lately, I've been watching a lot of old movies. Like I mentioned, movies like Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill. Those are from Quentin Tarantino. They have beautiful cinematographic shots. For the very well planned and fun shots, I always refer to Wes Anderson. The work who has influenced me the most, I have to say my brother Naseh. If you take a look at his shots, they are very well composed. The moments that he captures are very nice. He himself has pushed both of us further in this field. Internationally, I can say, I have to say Wes Anderson and Quentin Tarantino. To me, photography is very rewarding. But film photography, the whole experience is the key, I guess. From when you start to shoot if you shoot digital, when you capture an image, you can immediately see the results on screen. But for film photography, once you really plan the shoot, you can't just like click, click, click. You have to really plan it because you only have like 35 or 12 shots per roll. So you really have to plan it, and you're not sure what's the outcome. Sometimes you're gonna have feelings in your mind that the person just blinked or what, but it doesn't matter. Once you send it for developing, or you develop it yourself, and you get to see the negative, the results, that's when you feel really satisfied. Analog photography, it's very much different with digital. Whereas digital, you take a shot, then you can post-process through Photoshop or Lightroom. But for film photography, the results that you want will vary depending on the film you choose and how you develop it. For example, if you are looking for quite a unique grain, you can use films which are expired. You will get this authentic grain without using any digital filters. In terms of processing for film, once you completed the roll, nowadays it's easy to get a self-processing kit, either black and white, which is the easiest. There is also a C41 kit, which we use to develop colored photos. The procedure, I have to say, it's really not that hard. You just have to ensure that you unroll your exposed films in total darkness. We just use a tub basically, and then we just follow the adequate instructions based on the different chemicals and leave it for amount of time required. The longer you process it, the longer you develop it in the tub, the brighter the photos will be. So it's called pushing. Yeah, the technique is called pushing. So, but once you get the results from the negatives, you can further scan. So if you buy your own scanner, then you have different settings. You want it brighter or darker, you can play with the settings in the scanner software itself. But if you want to add in some minor touches, you can always use Photoshop. But I don't recommend it because you want to get that authentic film feel. First camera was given to me by my father. It was a digital camera. I can't remember what brand it was, but we used to take skate photos. Those days in King Center, we had a very old school skate park there. I used to bring this camera there just to take some shots, some videos. Along the way, I developed to film photography, but it just happened when I went to Kinokuniya in KL. They were selling this Japanese science magazines in box shape. Turns out that issue, there was a toy camera that came with it where you had to build it yourself. I bought it, I built it, and I tried film photography. The quality wasn't that great, but the feel when you capture, it's really nice. I love to shoot people, mainly because of different people having different expressions, different culture. I also love to shoot architecture and fashion photography. My go-to camera for now is the KF6C. This camera, I got it from Wandi Said, if you guys know him. It's a medium format camera specializing in taking portraits. My go-to film is the Kodak Portra. And recently, for low light conditions, I love the Cinestill 800T. You guys can check it out. When I was in my university, we had a heritage trip to Xi'an. We went to a small town where they had this mosque. I think it was almost 1,000 years old. The people there, they seemed to be very interested when we took out our gears. So especially the children, their faces like just lit up. They wanted to learn from us. They wanted to see our gear. So I felt that if they had the chance to do this, I think they would be really interested. One of my favorite shoots was when I was working with my wife for her fashion brand. It was a campaign shoot in University Malaya. So we had this brutalist building, the Dewan basically. We had two models. One was from Kuching, she was studying there. One was, she was mixed Chinese-Indian. The whole setup, the whole experience and the results to me were one of the best that we ever produced. I've never been critiqued negatively, I guess, because I don't take like provocative photos or maybe images that spark some of these negative comments. If I ever receive negative comments, I'll try to analyze whether it is constructive. If it's just like hate speech or what, I try not to feel it in my heart. When you work, you will always face different kinds of clients. There are times where the clients are very nice, but they are not really well experienced in photography, so you need to direct them. In terms of difficult clients, you just have to be kind, be professional. Once you get to know them, things will be smooth sailing. To capture great photos, you always have to be aware on the lighting conditions. It's always a play between light and shadow. If you have enough balance between light and you have wonderful shadow striking, this can result in great photos. When I compose a shot, I will always look for lines. If I have a subject in front of let's say a backdrop, a building or whatsoever, I'll look for the vertical lines and the horizontal lines and ensure it is parallel with the frame. So this way you get a well-composed shot rather than just point and shoot without any planning. Kuching, it is a nice place for anyone who's practicing photography in terms of being as a hobby or as a job. But the challenge is when you become a film photographer. Things like getting supply of films or your equipment. We don't have much shops here, but I can suggest we have the Apollo Film Lab, which is just opposite the old courthouse. They have developing services, scanning services. They also sell some of the basic films. Not to say, basic films. If you guys want to know about my dream collaboration locally, as in local here in Kuching, I gotta say Ame Shah Ali. He's one of the best graffiti artists and mural painters we have here. So it would be best to collaborate in terms of street photography or having fashion shoots with concepts where we can collaborate together. Internationally, although it's a bit far-fetched, if I ever get the chance, I would love to collaborate with Wes Anderson or Quentin Tarantino. I would like to learn their methodology and how they really work on set, more to achieving these cinematographic shots. That my work can help people understand more on composition, basically. I hope it can become a source of reference for future photographers. The best piece of advice I've ever received is to always be kind and always be humble. Once you be humble and kind to people around you, things will come to you easily. Even if you have problems, if you be kind, you'll notice that things will go smooth sailing. Good Raya. Oh, okay. Your challenge is multi-exposure film photography. Okay. I think I've done this before a few times. Basically shooting and without further advancing the role, then you plan another shot, then you just overlap it. So yeah, I think this is fun. Challenge for today is multi-exposure. So I'm gonna use this LCW loaded with a 400 Superior. So I'm gonna try to do EBS, which is exposed on both sides. So let's go. When shooting street photography, I try to see the distinctive features of the area. So for this instance, it's Carpenter Street, where we have these lanterns. So what we plan to do is to do an exposed on both sides film, where one side we still shoot the same thing, but the other side, when we flip the film around, we shoot it upside down. For today's challenge, I could say it was slightly challenging. It was enjoyable nevertheless. So let's wait for the results. Anyone who's starting photography, I just have to advise you, keep on shooting. Always have a reference, many references. If you have some directors you like, always follow their work. If you see some beautiful shots by someone, either on the internet or magazine, always research in depth on who they really are, what they really do, and how they do their work.